Guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new on this channel, my name is Kende and this is Open Up with Kenny. Here on this channel we talk about faith, fashion, lifestyle, travel experience and life in Estonia, personal experience in Estonia and what I've seen generally in Estonia. So today we'll be talking about school admission process in Estonia. So after my previous video about admission, FAQ and all of that, I started getting more personal questions and deeper questions. So I'm like, you know what guys, I'm gonna give you this. If you are the type that wants to get admission into or Tallinn tattoo anywhere in Estonia basically, please grab a seat because I'm about to give you a more deeper explanation on how to go about it. So let's get right into it. The first question you might want to ask yourself is, what is the first step? How do I start? So the number one thing is go to the website www.dreamapply.com. If you've not seen my previous video about the frequently asked questions, please go and watch because it's very detailed and loaded and the documentations that you require. So please go and watch those two videos. It's very important before coming to watch this. Okay, so you definitely click on the website, check the courses, check whether you meet the requirement. It's usually like 60%, which is like 3.0 CGPA in Nigeria or in Africa basically, because I think we grade with CGPA, cumulative grade points, while they grade with points. There's a way they do it. So 60% is like 3.0 CGPA in Nigeria. So if you're like a strong 2.2, but if you're having like 2.56, 2.65, please don't bother because most of the schools, they will reject you at the end of the day. So there's no point. Check the requirements, check the courses, and also check the school fee. Is very important to avoid disappointment. What is the second procedure? I already mentioned the second procedure in the first procedure. The second procedure is that you check the courses, you check the school fee to see whether you can make payment. Some schools require English proficiency test, which is IELTS, TOEFL, or BTF. But other schools will require a waiver since you're coming from an English-speaking country. So the waiver form or waiver letter is simply entail the school you graduated from, telling them that all your courses were taught in English, that you can speak English very well, and English is your primary language, and all of that. So your school will send that waiver letter. That's in case the schools you're applying for accepts a waiver letter or waiver form. I suggest you try to do your admission yourself. So any additional information or whatever the school is requesting for is easy for you to quickly provide, unlike when you're like going through a third party, you understand. Another question you ask is, how long does the school take to respond? So admission starts for some school January, while some February, and it runs down to June, July. That's when you start getting response to your admission, and then if you're giving admission, you start processing your visa. So for people that are in Nigeria, we don't have embassy in Nigeria, so you start looking for nearest country that has Estonian embassy. The websites I attached to my previous videos, please go and watch it to be able to know how to apply and all of that. Another question you might want to ask is, do you pay school fees before applying for visa? So this question is very relative. So depending on the school that you're applying for, some schools require you make payment for your school fees before you come, while others is when you come. So schools like University of Tattoo, somebody confirmed that they had to pay before they even go to apply for visa. Once you're given admission, you will be required to pay some certain amount or some certain percentage before you come. But some other schools don't accept payments. Schools like Estonia University of Life and Sciences, you have to come into Tallinn first, sign an undertaking, fill a form that you'll be paying X amount at so time. So it just sort of gives you like a breakdown. So they give you an invoice at the end of that time you wrote with your hand. So that way it's easier for them. And I think that before you even make your first payment, that's after coming is about, they give them another period of about maybe few weeks. Maybe let's say you come in September, they still give them till 15th of October or so thereabout before they can make payments. But the limitation here for this school is that they are all science-based courses, and the courses are very limited. So everything within Wahala. If you're a science student and you check out Estonian University of Life and Sciences, you see something that you might want to, okay, so it's a good catch for you. Another question you might want to ask is that what document does the school give applicants to help them get the visa? So the only documents you'll be getting from the school is your admission letter, which is like very enough, because there's no way you'll be traveling to Estonia without providing the purpose of visit, which you will now submit your admission letter, or you have to print out admission letter to add to the documents you are submitting. And then, in fact, you know what, just go and watch my previous video on the documentation for study visa. It's also very important. That way you can have like a very deeper understanding of what we are talking about. Another thing you can also do is that you can also keep the university relation officer. So I think the person that contacts you is your relation officer that contacts you regarding your admission. So in order to really like keep them informed, and in case they're doing some background whatever, you can just keep them posted about your visa, where you are going to apply, that is the country you are going to apply for the visa, and if you've gotten there, if you've applied, just keep giving them an updated email. Oh, I'm going to apply for my visa at so country. Oh, I've gotten to so country. I have my interview for so date. I've submitted, and you just like give them like a update on how the journey is going. So even if the embassy writes the school or they try to confirm, they are aware. Do you get? Because a lot of people are going to be applying, of course, and they're always very, very responsive. So if you send them an email, they always reply. I mean, from experience and people sharing with me, they told me that they always reply to their email. So you should be rest assured that no matter your email, they want you like being know. So when you finally get the visa, keep them updated. Oh, I've gotten the visa. When you get into the country, keep them updated. I've gotten into the country. So when they call the school to find any information, the person already knows as they go. You understand? I just feel that it will really help you in your journey for your visa application. One question you might want to ask, which I think everything is already there, but let me just talk about is that when does class start? So class starts immediately. They don't really joke with class, schools and all of that, and there is no African time. If they say class starts 1st of September, then it's 1st of September. So they expect you to have prepared and register your courses during the holiday. That means while you are still in Nigeria trying to go to Egypt or go to Abu Dhabi or wherever you're going to apply for your visa, by that time you should have actually registered your course on the school portal and done the necessary things. So even if you're not in the country, some classes are online, so class starts regardless whether you're in the country or not. Do you understand? So they expect you to just keep the time and be up and doing. This pattern continues even when you come into the country. So in your next semester, the school portal is open during the holiday. You fill in your courses and then you're ready when they say resume. Okay, so the only rare cases is probably if the lecturer postponed by a week or something, but that's solely on the lecturer, not you. So when they say school starts nothing can change it. Feel me? Another question you might want to ask is how long does the section last? How many months? So it's usually from 4 to 5 months. So let's say the school opens for September, the normal period is probably January. That's when the school ends. Although some lecturers end their lecture by the 4th month, but they give the students avenue to actually write their exams in the 5th month with ease. But it's usually within the range of 4 to 5 months. Another similar question is how long does a semester last? So the semester lasts for 1 year. For some 1 year. It depends on your course. But the good thing is that as you're applying for the course, you already know the day you have to leave the school. So that way you are aware and you can actually plan and make sure that you are doing everything and you're submitting everything according to the date so that you can actually graduate that particular day. But yeah, some 1 year and others lesser, depends on your course. So another question that you might want to ask is when does results start coming out? The results start coming out immediately you finish all your exams, but it also depends on the mode of the exam. So if it's an online exam, you get your result immediately because of course it's online based test, you can easily calculate faster. But if you have to go into the class to write the exam, you know, it takes time for them to mark, to grade and to impute. So that could probably be at the end of the whole exam. But yeah, depends on the mode. But at the end of the day, in general, the results start coming out immediately you finish your exam. Okay, so this question is actually not really like necessary per se, but I chose to answer it and I chose to put it as something that I will talk about is because people will not really tell you. But the question is, when does the school send you packing? Like, when did they send you out of the school? So this is something that people really get carried away when as soon as they come into the country. You just feel like, oh, I'm free like a bird, I can do whatever I want and all of that. Guy, they feel send you commode. So you have to be like of your best behavior while you're in the school. Once you come into the school, you get a temporary residence permit for study. See, in that 2 years, be of your best behavior, because this country is digitalized. There is a connection from school to your work to where you live. So you'll just be shocked as how information is passed. There's camera everywhere, on the street or everywhere. Anywhere you are walking, they are seeing you. So you have to be like of your best behavior, because someone actually told me something about a student that was sent packing. They gave him 1 month to leave the country. They revoked his CRP and he was sent out of the country, not just out of the school. He was sent out of the school and he was sent out of the country. He was constantly fighting his roommates. He was drinking, smoking, doing wishy, so many bad behavior. Like, guy, for the fact that, yeah, you've been given a therapy does not mean they cannot collect it back. So you have to be of your best behavior. You're only lower now, like you're in another man's land. You have to behave yourself. So even if you're coming in as a student, please know that you have not I am mighty. This is not your father's country. You are a stranger in this land, even though you have the right to lead, to do, to work, to do so many other things. But at the same time, you have to behave, you understand? Another thing you have to avoid is plagiarism. Make sure you don't copy people's idea work word for word. Even if at all you pick few lines, make sure you reference them. Because in Estonia, they detest plagiarism. So please behave yourself and their connections to your work. Anywhere you go, they will see you. Feel me? So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have more questions, please drop it by the comment section. I am available to answer. And if you manage to stay to this particular end, please make sure you subscribe, like, and share with your loved ones. It's very important. And again, please turn up your notification bell. So that you can, anytime I upload videos, you can always see. Please turn on your notification bell. Thank you.